Coming up on Mountain News this morning, if you've ever been forced to wait longer than usual for an important letter, well, we might have that reason. And we bring you the story of a West Virginia teen who has an extra reason to celebrate when he walks across the stage at graduation.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
6:01 here, middle of the work week. I'm Dakota Makris. Good morning to you. It is a nice Wednesday, so let's head over to Brandon for a look at that forecast. And Brandon, well, a nice-ish, I guess. I guess there's some pop-up showers here and there. So, listen, I tell you what, I'm learning this lingo. I've been, you know, I was out of it for a month, but I'm getting it back.
Back into it now. I think you're paying better attention now than you did when you worked here full-time to the weather.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
All right, let's get into it this morning. We have a few spotty showers out there in the eastern counties, but again, not expecting a whole lot of action now. Look back over toward Beckley and points north. Some heavy snow. Yes, that is May snow out there. Some winter weather alerts out toward West Virginia. Snowshoe, expecting to see quite a bit of snow out there in one of the ski resorts out there in West Virginia. Downtown Hazard, 46. Not too much going on in Triangle Park this morning. Just a little bit of light traffic picking up. Temperatures in the 40s and 50s. 41 Logan to 52 in Monticello. That's our range this morning. Pour out some breakfast weather weights, and we're going to be seeing again the possibility for temperatures to be in those low to mid 40s and then slowly climbing into the 50s as we head deeper into the day. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. Well, imagine being forced to wait for an important letter or vital medication. That's what people in several rural communities say they are dealing with due to U.S. Postal Service delays. WYMT Washington News Bureau reporter Jamie Bittner has more on what's driving the mail mishap.
The U.S. Postal Service says most mail is delivered within 2.5 days, but in rural communities, people say that's not happening. Staffing problems are contributing to long waits and long lines at the post office.
I started my conversations with the post office in 2018.
For years, Dara McDonald says her small town of Crested Butte, Colorado, has been plagued with lengthy post office lines and parcel problems. Now the town, with a population of just over 1,500 people, is exploring its legal options.
Crested Butte joined with 6 other Colorado municipalities to pursue understanding our options to file a complaint about the subpar service that we've all been receiving for years now.
Are you having staffing issues too?
That's absolutely a big part of the problem.
Staffing issues are also at the center of complaints in rural communities in Vermont. Congressional lawmakers say poor customer service has been reported in Heinsberg, a town of 4,600 people. They've also heard of mail delays in Williston, South Burlington, and Windham County.
I brought it up with the chair of the Oversight Committee. I feel like we should be doing more oversight of the Postal Service.
We're really calling on the postal management to manage, get the personnel, get the systems in place, get the mail delivered.
United States Postal Service.
Vermont lawmakers drafted 2 letters to the post office to highlight the problems. The post office's 4-page response acknowledged the personnel shortages, citing a tight labor market for making it harder to find employees. In a statement to me, a spokesperson adds 97% of the nation's population receives their mail in less than 3 days, and we are working hard to correct service-related issues in other limited areas. In Washington, I'm Jamie Bittner.
While post offices rely on the sales of postage and other products to fund operating expenses, the Postal Service is citing inflation for why it needs to increase prices for first-class stamps. Those stamps are expected to cost 66 cents a piece in July. Mountain Comprehensive Care Center will be receiving $250,000 in grant money for the fight against the opioid epidemic. The center is one of several to receive its share of the more than $8 million given by Attorney General Daniel Cameron's office. Clinical Director Michael Fannin says the money will be used to help create more programs for the center.
And one of the main benefits of the program and the money that we're going to be receiving from these settlements is going to be helping them connect with transitional living programs that help them connect with job employment, job retention, help them, reacclimate into the community.
And if you'd like to learn more about this story, we have it over on WYMT.com. One mobile clinic that offers a variety of medical services will return to Eastern Kentucky soon. Remote Area Medical announced it will be in Perry County next month. RAM will offer free dental, vision, and medical care at East Perry Elementary School on Saturday, June 3rd and Sunday, June 4th. Doors will open at 6 a.m. on that Saturday, and services are on a first-come, first-served basis. The parking lot will open at midnight on Saturday and stay open until the clinic closes. Well, for many students, standardized testing can cause anxiety, and with Kentucky State testing happening soon, educators are working to help students overcome any fears they just might have. For students in our region who were impacted by flooding, test anxiety can amplify some of the issues they are already seeing. That is why caregivers should ensure these students are well rested and that they will have eaten well and that you encourage them to do their best.
If students have issues, or if it's just a normal class exam, we have some that's had some issues. So if we need to pull them to give them a smaller, different setting, we can do that. We want to put them in the position that they're successful.
If students are experiencing anxiety during a test, school counselors say they can try deep breathing exercises to work through their stress. Seniors across the U.S. will be throwing up their graduation caps this month. A final hurrah after many years of classes. Well, this morning, we want to bring you the story of a student over in West Virginia who has something more to celebrate. A Wyoming County teen is doing his last round of chemo after a 3-year-long fight with cancer. Annie Moore has his inspiring story.
At 15, Hunter Trump loved to build things, whether it was playing with Legos or fixing a problem with a car. But just as his life was getting started, an emergency trip to the hospital would turn his life upside down.
Heartbreaking. Never really expected for something like that to happen.
What he thought was about with the flu turned out to be cancer. Leukemia ALL to be exact. His next 3 years would be filled with chemo, allergic reactions to chemo, followed by more chemo. His mother Candace knew she had to show strength for her son.
It was horrible to sit and watch him and know that I couldn't do nothing about it.
The Suicide Jackson Beckley raised money for the family and offered shoulders to lean on.
Just to keep him up, we'll find out he's sick. We'd send him text messages, try to see him if he was able to be seeing people that day. And he's just become part of the family. The whole family has.
If it wasn't for other people being there for us, we couldn't be where we're at.
Through that support, Trump eventually got stronger. And after 3 long years, he takes his last round of chemo next month. As he graduates from Wyoming East in May, he'll walk across that stage with pride.
You just got to keep your head up and push through it. And stay strong.
A young man who learned at an early age of the fighter who lives within.
That was Annie Moore reporting. After high school, Hunter says he hopes to go to school to become an auto diesel mechanic. Well, a young Central Kentucky woman is in a very serious fight after she was recently diagnosed with a very rare blood condition. Braylee Steerbrell has a condition that impacts her blood and liver. After her family had gone years of not knowing or understanding why she was sick so often, well, they finally got some answers. She was diagnosed with a rare condition known as PNH, which impacts 500 people here in the U.S. and only 2 people in Kentucky.
And it is a blood disorder that attacks her own body. It's her own red blood cells are attacking her body, and this disorder attacks at night.
As if the rare condition was not enough, while being treated for PNH, it was discovered Braylee had another condition which was impacting her liver. There's no cure for PNH, and treatments are expensive, with insurance copays alone at $80,000 per treatment. The community is helping her out in many ways, including a car wash being planned for Saturday from noon until 3 p.m. at the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office.
6:10 here on this Wednesday morning. We continue to track just a little bit of shower activity in our eastern counties, but that is on the way out. You see it over to parts of Floyd, Magoffin, Johnson, maybe a little bit of Martin there, and Pike counties, and then over into parts of southern West Virginia, scooting down towards southwest Virginia, Buchanan and Dickinson counties. So again, just be aware of that on the way out this morning. UVA wise, you can see there once the camera scoots back on that they've got a little cloud cover over there this morning, where the cooler spots in the region at 43. 41 is the coolest spot in the region over at Logan. 52 in Monticello is the warmest spot. A lot of mid to upper 40s out there this morning. In the First Alert Weather app, it's going to start clearing out this afternoon. We're going to start to see some sunshine a little bit later on this morning. That's going to take us into the upper 50s, close to 60 as the sunshine takes over and the rain moves out, at least temporarily.
All right, Brendan, thank you so much. Coming up, the search for a man accused of killing several of his neighbors during a rampage in Texas finally comes to an end. Stay with us. That's next.
A desperate Kelly Craft